Okay, I'm sitting stuck in some heavy traffic, so I figured I would just go ahead and start this video now and open up the topic of why is Kabbalah being revealed right now? Why is this ancient technology resurfacing and capturing the minds and the hearts of so many individuals across the globe right now? Well, there is a great shift happening, a paradigm shift, a shift in our collective consciousness. And Kabbalah is a technology, it's a science that we can use to navigate this shift, as it is a timeless technology. It is a technology developed upon the original pattern of creation, the tree of light, of life, of love. And this technology is beyond religion. It's at the foundation of every religion, actually. It is the science of you and me. And it's very real. And studying Kabbalah offers so much information that is very relevant and also very useful right now. And so it can be very complicated to get into Kabbalah because it uses a lot of terminology that just the average person is not used to hearing or reading about. And a lot of it involves the Hebrew language. And the Hebrew language is a seemingly very complex language, but ultimately the more you learn it and the deeper you understand it, the more you see that it's not as complex as it may have seemed, and that it's actually very organically fitting for our society. It's not just for Jewish people, you see. Even the word Jew or Jewish has been misinterpreted over the years. But Hebrew is not just for Jewish people. Hebrew is a language that is for anybody who wishes to study it, just like all languages are for anyone who wishes to study them and learn them. But Hebrew is beyond just a language, it's a technology, and it's built upon gematria, which is sacred geometry. It's all of the expressions of the one. It's a science. It's a technology. A lot of people look at it even as some kind of an alien technology, but really it's just built upon, again, our original creation design, our original creation pattern. And so these letters, these Hebrew letters, become very useful tools when we understand them from a Kabbalistic perspective, beyond the judgment that they're meant for one person or another. No, when we see them as a technology, we then begin to access its true power, the Hebrew language. And let's see, a good way to describe this is we should look at it as hieroglyphic. The Hebrew language is hieroglyphic. Every single Hebrew letter has a correlating symbol or image. And when we consider those images or symbols in their relationship to the Holy One, or God, as all of us as one, we extract its meaning immediately. And what I mean by this is, let's take, for example, the second letter of the alphabet, bet. By the way, the word for alphabet in Hebrew is aleph bet, because aleph and bet are the first two letters, the A and B essentially, of the alphabet. So when we look at the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the letter bet, the symbol for it is a house. And the Hebrew word for house is bayit. Sounds like bet, right? Bayit. So its symbol is a house. And when we consider what a house is in terms of the divine, immediately we begin to think of various other symbols and things like a temple or a tent or a dwelling for the one, for the divine. And then we begin to understand its true meaning. We see every symbol as if it were written for the one, about the one. So the bet then becomes not just a house, but also a house for the divine presence. And so this is how it is with every Hebrew letter. And there are ways to decode any word in any language simply by looking at the Hebrew letters. We can take any word in any language, and by just the sounds of the word, ra, ka, la, sa, we can find its equivalent Hebrew letter, and when we put those symbols one next to each other, they tell a story of the truth, of the essence of that word, no matter what language. Because it's built on gematria, which all of reality essentially is built upon. So Hebrew, therefore, becomes a language and representation of the essence of anything, extracting its truth and not excluding its most exterior representation as well. Its most seemingly shallow form, because all is connected. So it doesn't exclude, like for example, the bet, the one that the letter that is symbolized by a house, it doesn't exclude just a house. It is the house, but it's also the house of the divine. It's the interdimensional understanding of any word. That's what we find when we use Hebrew to decode any word of any language. It's such a beautiful technology that when we just look at it in a sense that it's not just for Jewish people, or of course not. You ever go to Israel? So many people speak Hebrew there. Hebrew is, I'm sure, the first language of Israel, yet there are all different people from all over the world, who've moved there. From all different backgrounds, all different religions, and they're all speaking Hebrew to one another. It's just another form of communication. So right off the bat, we see that there's no need to be closed up to it. It's for anyone who wishes to see it, and it's a technology. It's a simple yet profound technology that is accessible to anyone and can unlock the deeper meaning of anything that we choose to observe within and without in our reality. And so Kabbalah is, in a way, it's revealing itself now because we're all becoming interested in these deeper topics. We're becoming interested in our creation story so that we can understand our purpose, why we're here, who we are. What are we doing here on this planet at this time? And so Kabbalah becomes relevant, but because it's seemingly so confusing at first, and Hebrew seems all complex and there are all these fancy words, we shy away from it, or we feel that maybe we shouldn't go down that road because it's too complex. I've heard so many people say, oh, Kabbalah, well, I don't want to go there because that's only for certain people. It's not meant for everyone to understand. I disagree, and I believe that there are people within the generation waking up who have the ability to translate different Kabbalistic topics in a way that becomes not only understandable, but accessible to all of us so that we can all access its wisdom and utilize it here now as a collective. And I believe that, while it is difficult to translate such terms, seemingly impossible at first because Hebrew is so unique, it's not really translatable into any other language, and definitely not into just English. It's a holographic language. It's hieroglyphic, and so we do need to honor certain terms and words that we can't translate and have the full meaning carried through. We need to honor that there are certain words that need to be left alone because those words are spells or seals in and of themselves. But regardless, we must know that there is a way to utilize this information. We can't just simply throw it, brush it under the rug or throw it off to the side and dismiss it because it's too complex. No, there's wisdom in this timeless technology that is being revealed all over the world, and there are more and more people working at translating these concepts so that we all have access to the wisdom that lies within this technology. And so I'm not giving up either, and I definitely want to try my best to be able to explain Kabbalistic concepts to those who have no awareness around anything that it involves, especially such seemingly complex aspects like the Hebrew language, because the Hebrew language is the foundation of the Kabbalah, because each Hebrew letter correlates to a different number, and numerology essentially is the essence of, our creation story. It's the one being expressed. It's the unfolding of the one. Everything then becomes a mathematical expression. We are like a living, ever unfolding mathematical expression. How perfect and appropriate to say on such a day as today, 3/14. Today is Pi Day. Happy Pi Day. And so, yeah, we are just fractaling beings of light, constantly crystallizing new information as we evolve, forming new dimensions. This is what we are. And Kabbalah has been around forever because it's simply just a technology built upon our original creation pattern. And so there's a lot of relevant wisdom within that system of Kabbalah that I believe is going to spread like wildfire right now. So whoever does have, whoever knows how to speak the Hebrew language, whoever can read Hebrew, or whoever's aware of gematria in the tree of life, like share these things, find a way to communicate these things, show other people how it's, this technology is not just made for any one person. It's not for Jewish people. It's for anyone who wishes to dive deeper into why we are really here. And for anyone who wants to actually perform real magic right here, right now, as living rituals, working within this very world, working on this planet, on this physical plane. I know that there are so many beings, healing and waking up right now and raising their vibration, raising their frequency. But there are also so many beings within that circle that are wanting to take it to the next level and do actual practical magic and do real things right here, right now to make a change and ground the magic into these bodies so that we can be vessels for it to perform great miracles. Kabbalah definitely can help to guide the way. Everything is already within you. So there's nothing that you can read in a book that, that you can't find within yourself, inside of yourself. And so you will know when you read it. You will know what is true. You will know. In fact, it's such a sacred science that when you study it, when you read it, you will only see what you're ready to see. Just like, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. This is the same thing. You can only go as deep with Kabbalah as you are allowing yourself to. It's a tricky thing because it's the science of the mind, right? It's the science of who we are. And so it's a very ironic thing. But the more you're receptive, the more will be revealed to you. So keep that in mind too for those of you who are interested in Kabbalah and hearing more about the wisdom within it that is really accessible to anyone. Thanks for tuning into my little rant. I made it through the traffic and I'm home. If you have any questions about Kabbalah, the collective journey into the study of self and how Kabbalah will return again as it has been as a great system of support in times of change. Thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed day.